What's going on, champs and champions? It's FireMonkey here, and in today's YouTube video, we're talking about something that you probably didn't expect us to talk about, considering all the news that's kind of gone down today, right? Because if we address the elephant in the room real quickly, Creative 2.0, aka UEFN, Unreal Engine for the Fortnite editor and all that type of stuff, whatever you want to call it, is finally going to be releasing on the 22nd, which is next week on Wednesday. It is finally announced, they have the release date confirmed, and everything is finally going to be right around the corner. And it's like, okay, that's a pretty big topic. So why aren't we talking about it? The reason why we're not going to be talking about it in today's YouTube video is because that topic's going to be around for a little bit longer than today's topic, which all relates to the magical world of stuff going on regarding hotfixes and everything else, because 3 hours ago, as the time you're recording this YouTube video, Epic Games actually pushed a new balancing update out to their game, fixing a few weapons, changing some other things around in order to make the game overall feel a lot more polished. Because of this, I felt that it was more important that we talk about that now, because with Unreal Engine editor for Fortnite, or Creative 2.0, whatever you want to call it, we've talked about it a million times, right? And all we really have to say about it, which, you know, I'll still probably make a video on it or whatever, is just, hey, it's officially releasing. So to start off today's YouTube video, let's go ahead and tell you about all the balances. We're going to be going in order based on what Epic Games themselves has officially stated was, like, you know, the most important balancing change to the, you know, the least important things. So basically you're going from the top of the list downwards, and to start it off, the combat shotgun's damage per pellet has been increased. So whenever you're using the combat shotgun, which you can find normally on the Fortnite island, it will do more damage per pellet that hits the enemy than it would before. And speak of the devil. Okay, now typically whenever I would shoot someone with a combat shotgun, it would do anywhere from like 22 to 30-ish damage, right? So it was in that ballpark. But with us having this little bit of an increase, we should be able to actually see, once we get up closer to a new enemy, that it does a lot more damage than previously. Now, I did want to pause the video until we found an actual bot over here like we just did. I saw them on the zip line because I wanted to show the damage, but whoa! Okay. That definitely feels a lot more powerful than previously when I used it. If we're up close, 64, that did 80 right there. So obviously, especially with, you know, the green rarity, it's not going to do that much damage, but it still is a big increase from like what it was previously. So I do think that the little bit of a damage per pellet increase definitely makes that shotgun more of a viable option, which is very nice because, you know, I actually enjoyed the combat shotgun quite a bit, right? You know, I obviously like the Maven and stuff, but when it came to shotguns, you know, if I couldn't find a Maven anywhere, I obviously ended up using the combat shotgun a lot just because I like the design of it, and I felt like for its purpose it was pretty good. So seeing that they're making it now more powerful definitely feels a lot better. For our second change, the Dragon's Breath Sniper has its rate of fire increase. Now this is the exotic sniper rifle that you can only find from the key lock chest around the map, so it won't be a very common item at all. And you know, throughout my entire time playing, I've seen it like maybe 3 or 4 times because that was the only times I was actually, you know, like actively looking for that specific weapon. But it felt like, you know, it was definitely something that you wouldn't see that often at all unless someone is specifically trying to find a Dragon's Breath sniper rifle in order to use it. But it's nice to see that that sniper, despite it being super rare, did get a little bit of a buff in order to make it, you know, shoot a little bit faster, just so it is a more powerful weapon overall when you do find it, which maybe that will help justify the rareness of it once, you know, you end up finding it around the map, if you do end up finding it. And actually, we're going to be running over here to see if we do get one in this chest over here. But while we're running, I would like to mention that the Havoc Suppressed AR, which is this gun right here, it had its accuracy changed when you were sliding. Basically, whenever you were sliding, it had perfect accuracy, so when you were looking, it would look and shoot directly at that target. That has been changed now so that the accuracy is more accurate to, you know, everything going on, which is kind of a mouthful to say, you know, the accuracy is more accurate. But as a way to really kind of just dumb down that change for you guys, especially if you're someone who might just be like, okay, you just said the same words 5 million times, what's going on here? Basically, what they went ahead and did is made it so when you're sliding, the Havoc assault rifle, you know, the suppressed assault rifle from the season, is going to be less accurate than it was before. Because before this balancing update, whenever you were sliding and actually shooting with that weapon, it would basically be perfectly accurate. Wherever your, like, actually, you know, spot was on your reticle, whatever you want to call it. I don't know why my brain fried there for a second, but wherever you were looking originally, it was 1-to-1 on that exact spot no matter what. So it's nice to see that Epic Games is, you know, working on making it better, you know, making the whole entire system more accurate to just how it would have been if you were sliding with the gun in real life. And of course, Fortnite isn't real life or anything, and the recoil and everything else isn't going to be a one-to-one recreation every time, but it is just nice to see that they are making these changes and actually communicating the changes with the community. Next up, the medium ammo amp actual augment has been changed. Before, it would give you a 33% ammo increase on any of your weapons that had medium ammo, meaning that if you had like the Havoc suppressed assault rifle, it would go up to 39 bullets instead of 27. However, they have now decreased that to only a 20% increase. So you will be getting a little bit less of a bonus from this augment, and maybe we'll see the augment be a little less effective and less used because of it, but they did nerf it because I guess they thought, how many bullets they were adding onto it was way too much with the current state of how many bullets medium weapons in the game currently have. On top of this, they also reduced the ammo rate gain from the munition slide augment, which was the augment where whenever you were sliding while you had, the augment enabled, it will give you medium ammo nonstop. It was super crazy overpowered, right? Like, even when I was playing bot lobbies with my friends, I was like, there's no way they don't nerf this, because it just seemed like it gave you ammo way too fast, to the point if you had no ammo, right? You just keep sliding back and forth, and all of a sudden, boom, you have all the assault rifle ammo in the entire world that you would have needed. You have nothing to worry about, so it is an interesting change to see, but it was one that I was kind of expecting, just because of the fact that we knew that this augment was kind of overpowered over time. And then finally, something that we thought was a feature but was actually a bug has been fixed. For those who don't know, whenever you use the Chug gunner augment that gave you the Chug cannon, it would have a faster recharge time than the original Chug cannon would. It was in the game for like an entire season, and everyone thought, that was just how it was supposed to work. And I remember when that season first released, people even mentioning to me, being like, hey, this is something interesting I noticed. And it was like, yeah, it was a little bit of an interesting thing that was going on with that specific Chug cannon, but they left it in for all of last season, so we just assumed, oh, everything was normal. Well, they've changed it, so now it has the normal recharge time of a Chug cannon instead of, a faster recharge time, so it may be a little bit less used than before. Overall, though, we basically had a 3-for-3 situation. 3 weapons got modified, and then 3 augments got modified as well, and I do think the modifications are some pretty nice balancing changes, and at least for me, in my personal opinion, I just think it's nice to see Epic Games having this type of communication, right? Because in the past, especially with situations like them vaulting the Shockwave Hammer, they've done weird things where they won't communicate everything. It's like, oh hey, we're vaulting the Shockwave Hammer, but they didn't tell you that they also vaulted Slurp Juice for the end of that season, and then this time around, it's like, oh hey, here's everything we've done, here's why they've been modified in the ways, here's, our explanations of everything, and how it was a bug or whatever else, and while it isn't a perfect, in-detailed explanation of every single change they've made, they didn't miss anything, as far as I'm aware, right? They went ahead and told everyone pretty much all the information they had to share regarding the game actually changing, and it's appealing to me, right? It's something that I'm actually happy to see them do, and I hope they continue doing as this season progresses and as they make more and more of these changes, because I just like the communication, right? I think the communication is nice and allows all of us to know what's going on instead of having to wait for a leaker or someone to go out of their way to be like, okay, I've looked in the files and according to the quadratic equation, here's what's going on. They turned the sniper rifle damage down by 0.02578, whatever you want to call it, right? And instead it's like we get the fully blown explanation that, is dumbed down well enough that everyone's going to be able to mostly understand what's going on instead of getting too technical on the exact changes that are happening behind the scenes. Now, of course, that is why I also didn't talk about the exact changes, like how the damage has changed for the shotgun or anything, because I felt like with its current situation and how the shotgun's being handled, I felt that it was just nicer to show you guys an example in game. And let's face it, the damage is going to fluctuate depending on how far you are from an enemy, how accurate you are with your pellets and everything, so it's a lot easier just to tell you guys, hey, if you were to use this, here's a realistic example in game of how this is kind of being affected by these changes, talking about my previous experience and showing the new experience as well. So with that said, hope you champs and champettes enjoyed today's rambling YouTube video. We somehow made it past an 8-minute mark now that I'm looking over there. So yay, I get extra ad revenue or something. I don't know. I don't think I have mid-roll ads enabled or anything like that, but if I do, I'll probably disable them. And with that said, hope you champs and champettes have a wonderful rest of your day. If you like the video, consider liking to support the content I create, or feel free to dislike the video. I know you guys like reveling in the comments down below whenever I tell you guys to do something. You're like, no, we will do the opposite of that thing. So, I think it's fun. You guys like to mess around, so I'm completely fine with whatever you want to do. I don't even know why I'm rambling about that at this point, but hey, we're past the 8-minute mark, so it doesn't really sound like I'm going for extra ad revenue at this point. I don't know. I'm just having an interesting day, you know, just kind of wanted to talk about all the changes and stuff and make a little video for you guys to relax with. So with that said, I do want to also just mention, I guess, since we're at this point in the video, thank you for all the support recently, and I'll see you guys tomorrow with another upload. Peace out.